Good afternoon, everyone. We are the reporters of Group 7, and this afternoon we will be tackling about El Filibusterismo context and content. History and context. Rizal started writing El Filibusterismo as a sequel to the Noli Me Tangere after he returned to Europe on February 1888. Lacson to Locsin 2004. The novel, therefore, was written in the midst of threats and oppressions he and his family were experiencing because of the Noli and the Calamba incident. Rizal continued working on his novel and made some revisions while he was in London in 1888. He was able to complete the novel after 3 years when he was in Biarritz, France, March 29, 1891. However, because of financial constraints, it was not until September of the same year that the book was published with the help of his friend, Valentin Bintora. In March 1887, after reading the Noli Me Tangere, Blumentritt asked Rizal the meaning of the word filibusterismo, which he did not find in the Spanish language. In 1890, Wenceslao Ritana wrote about the filibustero and described the term as the one who, eager for the independence of the country, resorts to various extra-legal proceedings in order to reach the objective that he pursues. By the end of the 19th century, the Spanish colonial government defined filibuster as someone who works to the separation of our overseas provinces. With these definitions, one will have an idea. The plot of Rizal's second novel, it deals with subversion. It pictures the lives of people under an oppressive regime. It narrates the struggles of every Filipino in fighting for independence. The story of El Filibusterismo revolved around the main characteristic, Simon, who was a rich jeweler. Simon was actually Crisostomo Ibarra of the Noli whom every thought was killed by the Guardia Civil at the Laguna Bay 13 years ago. He was able to escape and fled to Cuba. He became wealthy and was able to establish connections with prominent Spanish officials. Upon his return to the Philippines, Simon became very influential, being the consultant of the Governor General.
Simon came back with his grand plan to exact revenge on Spanish officials and to the rescue of Maria Clara, who entered the convent after learning the news of Ibarra's death. He planned to launch a revolution, which he started by smuggling arms and recruiting followers, mainly from the exploited and abusive narratives. One of his recruits was Basilio, the son of Sisa. With the help of Capitan Tiago, Basilio was able to study Median in Manila. Simon also began to establish an alliance with Cabisang Tales and his revolutionary group. Cabisang Tales was a former cabisa de barangay who was martyred by the friars. Using his position, Simon encouraged corruption and more oppressive government policies to enrage the people and thus provoke them to revolt. Simon's plan of revolution failed twice. In his first attempt, he decided not to give the signal for the outbreak of the uprising. Upon hearing the news of Maria Clara's death, Basilio and other students were then arrested for allegedly forming a seditious organization. Simon arranged the release of Basilio, who became better and vengeful. However, he was very grateful to Simon and offered his full support for the revolution. The second attempt at starting a revolution entailed the planting a bomb at the wedding reception of Paulita Gomez and Juanito Pilares. Illustrious guests at the mansions, formerly the house of Capitan Tiago, included Padre Salve and the Governor General, in Simon's plan, the revolution would be triggered by his gift to the couple a kerosene lamp with an explosive. When the lamp starts flickering and someone turns the wick, there would be an explosion, signaling the revolutionaries to attack all government built in Manila. As planned, Simon gave the lamp during the reception before leaving the venue. He left a note, a message, "You will die tonight," signed by Crisostomo Ibarra. Meanwhile, when Basilio saw all the people at the venue, his conscience bothered him. He saw his friend Isagani, who was secretly watching his love Paulita celebrating her wedding. Basilio told Isagani about the explosive and asked him to leave the place.
When Padre Salve confirmed Ibarra's handwriting, the guests began to panic. The lamp flickered and Padre Irene tried to turn the wick. But Isagani wanted to save Paulita, ran into the house, grabbed the lamp, and threw it into the river where it exploded. Simon talked in the house of a kind Filipino priest, Padre Florentino, the Guardia Civil, forever learned about the whereabouts of the fugitive and informed the priest that they would come in the evening to arrest Simon. Instead to surrendering to the authorities, Simon poisoned himself. As the poison started to take effect in his body, he confessed to Padre Florentino his stored identity and his plans to revenge. After the long, tedious confession, the priest told Simon that his plans might have failed because of the unjust means that were used. He assured Simon that there was still hope for the freedom of the country. The story ended with Padre Florentino throwing Simon's jewels into the sea that they would not be used by the greedy. He also prayed that when the right time comes, the treasure would be recovered and used for a noble purpose. For the Spaniards, a filibustero was someone who rebelled against the government, while for the Indios, he was a patriot who fought for the country's freedom. Compared to Noli Me Tangere, El filibusterismo showed how Rizal matured as a writer. This transformation could be seen in the main character. Simon was changed from being a moderate ilustrado to a revolutionary jeweler and planned to launch a revolution against the colonial government. Through this novel, one could see how a victim of oppression and injustice could turn into an influential revolutionary.
El filibusterismo continuing relevance. 120 years after Rizal's execution, his writings remain socially relevant. The ills that he relied against inept leadership, corruption, abuse of women, and the influence of the Catholic Church over political and social affairs are still persisting in the Philippine society today. Revolution as a means of social change. In the novel, Simon is the filibusterismo who encourages the principalian class to abuse the poor so that the latter would be driven to revolt against the government. Simon's death in the story made some readers conclude that Rizal was against the idea of a revolution. They failed to see that the result, together with other reformers like Marcelo H. del Pilar, regarded reform and assimilation as a first step towards Philippine independence. In his letter to Blumentritt on June 19, 1887, he said, Historian Ambet Ocampo, 2012, wrote Simon failed not because Rizal was against the revolution, but because he reflected on the anger and bitterness in his heart following the agrarian dispute in Calamba and realized that one must start with a good intention to succeed. On leadership and governance. El Fili's message is very clear: the inept leaders, corrupt officials, and system of government in the Philippines could lead to Spain's downfall. When Simon said, "What is a man to do when he is denied justice? Take the law into his own hands or wait for Spain to give him rights," he stressed that if the demands of the people would not be granted, they would be driven to oppose the system and organize movement to fight for their rights. Rizal himself was admired as a good leader. His colleagues in the propaganda movement respected him because he showed a kind of leadership that was not motivated by personal interest. Simon's plan of overthrowing the government, he only joined the revolutionary group after being arrested and imprisoned following the death of his sweetheart, Jolie. There was also one character, Senior Pasta, who abandoned his noble ideas to serve only the interests of those who hired him.
While Rizal exposed the injustices done by the colonial government, he also challenged the Filipinos to guard their rights as one of their main responsibilities. On education and language, at the time that Simon was planning to launch the revolution, students including Basilio were also fighting for the establishment of a school that would allow natives to learn the Spanish language. Simon strongly reacted against the project advocated by students.
For him, it would mean the death of national identity and the institutionalization of tyranny. In chapter 6, Basilio and 7, Simon expressed his disapproval of the students' program, convincing Basilius to join him in his plan of the revolution. Instead, he questioned the students' advocacy and said
that such were the words of Jose Rizal through the characters of Padre Florentino, a patriotic Filipino priest in El Feli. Rizal saw the youth as the future of the country because this generation would one day lead the nation. Their actions today would shape the path of tomorrow.
Rizal stressed the important role of the youth in challenging the government in the efforts of students like Basilio and Isagani to organize themselves and unite to call for reforms. For Simon, it was a way of embracing the Hispanization of the country. On the other hand, it could also be seen as the results of showing what the youth could do if they wanted reforms from the government. And that's all of our report.